What's up, y'all? BK back here with CliffPickleball to bring you some more amazing pickleball content. So the shot that I wanted to talk to you about in this video is a really popular shot in pickleball and is something of a show stealer. This shot is a trick shot, but it's actually really helpful in game, especially against people that have aggressive dinks. Anybody that's pushing you out into the corners with their dinks, this shot is a great way to counter that and win you some amazing points. We are, of course, going to be talking about the ATP, the around the post shot. Let's do it. Now, what is an ATP? An ATP is a shot that you hit around the pickleball net post. So anytime you get dragged out wide, you're gonna come over, and if you see that you can get that ball around the post, it doesn't have to go over the net. You can hit that ball around the post and back into the court. This is a great shot to use in game against those aggressive dinkers because it's gonna win you some easy points as you don't have to hit the ball over the net and keep the ball really low. Anytime you can do that, it's gonna be a lot harder for your opponents to pick that shot up. So an ATP is a really great way to win some easy points. Now that we know what an ATP is, there are a few things that you have to look out for to know that you're going to be able to hit an ATP off a ball. So the first thing that you're going to look for is a ball that's coming out wide. So you want a ball that's going to carry you outside the court so that you can step away far enough to hit that ball into the court from around the post. So what you want to do is look for a ball that's pulling you out wide. That's the first thing that you need to look for. Now the next thing that you want to look for is depth. You never want to be too far back when you're attempting an ATP because that doesn't give you enough time to get the ball all the way around the post to make sure that it bounces inside the court. The lesser distance that you have between your point of contact and that line of your opponent, the easier it's going to be to hit your ATP. So again, you want to make sure that you have a ball that's short, dinking you across outside the court so that you can come around and the distance between your point of contact and your opponent's sideline is really short. Anytime I'm trying to hit a ball from way back here, the distance between my point of contact and my sideline is really far away, which means I gotta put in so much more effort and it's gonna be a very inconsistent shot for me to try an ATP from way back there. So again, look to make sure that your opponent is pushing you out wide and you're close enough to the net and close enough to their sideline where you can simply push that ball into the court. So once we identify that we're going to hit an ATP off a certain shot, now we need to learn how exactly to execute that shot. So the first thing that you're going to do, as always with any shot, is prep yourself early. Early preparation is the key to any shot. So once again, if I see my opponent hit me a cross-court dink that's going to push me out wide, the first thing I want to do is get out there and set myself. Once I set myself, I can wait for that ball to come to me so that now I can wait for the perfect moment to hit that shot. The next thing I want to do is make sure that I allow the ball to develop. So what I mean by that is you're going to allow the ball to bounce, first bounce, come over, and you're not going to hit that ball early. Unlike every other shot where you're going to try and dink the ball early, you're going to actually allow this ball to get really low. The more you wait, the easier it is to hit an ATP because the further away from the net post you're going to be. If I have a ball that's bouncing pretty high and I contacted here, it's going to be a lot harder for me to hit that sideline than if I waited until it was out here to now push that ball into the court because I have a lot more room for error when I'm further away from the net post. So once you set yourself up and wait for the ball to develop, now comes the point of contact. So what you want to do on your point of contact is once you let that ball get really low, you want to aim about a foot inside the sideline, about 3/4 of the way in. So you're going to give yourself a little bit of margin for error inside the sideline and from the baseline where you're going to be able to put that ball into the back of the court and keep it low. So again, once you come out here, you're going to try to roll that ball, put it nice and flat over the sideline about a foot into the court and about a 3/4 of the way into the court. So when you're looking to aim your ATP, this zone is what you're looking for. When you're on the other side of the court and you're around the post waiting to hit that ball, this is the zone you're aiming for because this zone is going to give you the most consistent shot. If you aim too close to the net or this kitchen line, what's going to happen is you're going to cut off your best angle. Now the net post is in my way, as if I draw a straight line from here across the court, I'm going to be a lot further away. However, if you can have your margin of error come all the way back here with some depth on that ball, now that post is further away to my right side, and I have a clean view of my ATP. So again, when you're trying to aim your ATP, aim about 3/4 of the court in and about a foot in from the sideline, so that even if you miss by a little bit, your ball is still gonna land in. And the thing with an ATP is, it's such a hard shot to defend that even if your opponent comes in and covers this ball, now they vacate their entire side of the court, which is still gonna allow you to finish the point pretty easily. So now that we've learned how to hit an ATP and where to hit an ATP, it's also important to know what you have to do to defend an ATP. So let's say you and your partner are standing in the kitchen, just dinking back and forth, and now your partner hits a cross-court drop that's a little too aggressive, that now gives your opponent the chance to hit an ATP. What's gonna happen is, it's your job to defend the ATP, because if your partner hits that cross-court, that ATP is gonna come straight into your left side alley. So what you're gonna do to defend an ATP is recognize early that the ball's gonna go further out and there is an ATP opportunity present. As soon as you notice that, what you wanna do is cover your sideline. Again, don't go too far out, because now you're prone to hitting balls that are going out anyway and saving your opponent. So what you're gonna do is, since that is the most common target point, you're gonna try to cut that angle off by standing a foot inside the sideline, but about 2 feet in front of that marker. So that's our target point for most ATPs. So what we're gonna do is try to cut that angle off and position ourselves low and position ourselves close to the sideline, where if that ball is coming in, we have enough time to pick that ball out of the air. It's very hard to defend an ATP if you let the ball bounce. So try to take that ball out of the air anytime you can. And the best way to do that is to get really low, because again, the ATP does not have to come over the net. They can hit a really flat ball almost along the ground. So for you to pick that ball up, you're gonna have to be really low. And the second you're able to do that, now you can pick that ball back up. The second thing you wanna make sure to do is recognize what your opponents are doing. If one of them's hitting the ATP, that means they're out of the court and out of the point for that next shot. So all you have to worry about is their partner. Now, if you recognize that their partner is coming in to cover their spot, what you're trying to do is go back to their partner's side. However, if their partner remains on their side of the court, now you can simply put it down the line, right in, pop it nice high, up and easy, just get the ball into the court, because that person that just hit the ATP is not a threat to get that ball back. So again, watch for the person that's hitting the ATP, cover your angles, get low, and wait to see what their partner does. If you recognize that they're coming in to cover, go cross court. If you recognize that they're staying stationary, go down the line. And that's gonna help you defend the ATP. I hope you all enjoyed that video and really understood how to hit an ATP, when to use it. If you do have any more questions, make sure to comment below whether you enjoyed that video, what you would like to see next, and any general questions about the ATP itself. I'd be more than happy to help out with your mechanics. Until then, I've been BK. You can follow me at BK_Pickleball on Instagram and YouTube, so make sure to go subscribe to my channel and also subscribe below to CliffPickleball. I'll see you next time.